Welcome to the Clinical Pen, and remember to subscribe to it and visit clinicalpen.com. There's this feeling, isn't there, that we should all be doing more for our health.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But then you look into it, and oh my gosh, the advice is just everywhere. It feels
Overwhelming.
totally overwhelming, like you have to completely change your life overnight, sign up for something intense, give up everything fun.
Yeah, that all or nothing idea. It really stops people, I think. We see these extremes, but often the real magic is just being consistent, not necessarily intense.
Exactly. So what if getting healthier, feeling better wasn't this huge, impossible mountain to climb?
What if it was smaller?
Yeah, what if it was just about these small, kind of manageable things you do every day? We've been looking into some really interesting stuff about this.
About how those little routines add up.
Right. How these tiny habits can actually make a big difference to your energy, how you fight off bugs and, support your body and your mind.
It's more about building health day by day, wouldn't you say? Like laying bricks for a strong foundation, not trying to build the whole house in one go.
I like that. Brick by brick.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's discuss some of these everyday routines then, starting with the real basics, maybe. Fueling and hydrating.
Good place to start. And the first habit is almost like too simple.
Is it? What is it?
Just starting your day with water.
Okay. Water.
Think about it. We sleep for, 7, 8, maybe 9 hours, no fluids. So we wake up naturally dehydrated.
Right. That makes sense.
And what's interesting is what that first glass does. It's not just, quenching thirst. It actually kickstarts your whole system, tells your digestion, okay, time to wake up.
And it helps with brain fog, too.
Big time. Helps clear that morning mental fuzziness. Plus, it helps your body's natural process of flushing out waste products.
Wow. It's kind of amazing that something so basic has those immediate effects. I saw the material mention things like better skin over time.
Yep. Skin hydration, better kidney function support, and even helping regulate your appetite a bit, helping you tell if you're actually hungry or just thirsty first thing.
That's a good point. Thirst can feel like hunger sometimes.
Absolutely. And a simple tip they mentioned was adding a squeeze of lemon, just a bit of vitamin C, a little extra digestive boost.
Nice. Easy upgrade.
Yeah. And the goal isn't like chugging a huge amount right away. It's aiming for maybe 8 to 10 glasses, but spread throughout the whole day. That's a good target.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
But just thinking about how that first glass makes you feel, that little bit more awake, more centered, it shows how quick the impact can be.
It really does. And then right after hydration, the next habit is another morning one. Don't skip breakfast.
Ah, the classic, most important meal of the day. But why? Is it really that crucial based on what we looked at?
Well, the research does seem to back it up pretty strongly. Skipping it, especially regularly, can kind of throw your body's rhythm off.
Also,
a good breakfast helps stabilize your blood sugar, prevents those big dips that make you feel irritable, tired, and then maybe crave junk food later on.
okay, so it sets the tone.
Exactly. And it gives your brain the fuel, the glucose it needs after you've basically been fasting all night.
So it's less about some old rule and more about your metabolism and energy for the day. The material really emphasized whole foods here, didn't it? Oats, eggs, fruit.
Yes, things that release energy slowly. Sustained power, not that quick sugar rush followed by a crash an hour later.
Avoid the sugary cereals then.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
That initial fuel really impacts your concentration, your mood, helps your metabolism get going. It makes a difference in avoiding that mid-morning slump.
Okay, so we're hydrated, we've had a good breakfast, but then there's this other angle. It's not just what you eat.
Right. It's also how you eat. That brings us to mindful eating.
Mindful eating. Explain that a bit.
Well, we're often so rushed, right? Eating at our desks, watching TV, scrolling on our phones, barely tasting the food.
Guilty as charged.
Huh? Yeah, many of us are. Mindful eating is about slowing. Right.
Right.
Actually tasting the food, chewing properly. Sounds basic, but it really helps digestion. Gives your body time to, prepare and process.
And it helps you notice when you're actually full, so you don't just keep eating because it's there.
Exactly. You reconnect with those hunger and fullness signals. Less likely to overeat just out of habit or distraction.
Makes sense.
And the material also talks about variety here too. Fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains. Combining that mindful approach with a balanced plate, it supports physical health, nutrient absorption, and mental health too. A less anxious relationship with food.
Finding the enjoyment in it again.
Precisely. It's about nourishing yourself consciously.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Thinking about movement, getting outside. Habit number 4, move your body every day.
Yeah, and the key thing here is every day, but not necessarily like kill yourself at the gym every day.
Right. It doesn't have to be a huge workout.
Exactly. The findings show that consistent, moderate movement is incredibly beneficial. Just building it into your life. A walk, maybe some stretching or yoga at home, taking stairs instead of the lift.
Dancing in the kitchen.
Hey, dancing totally counts. It all adds up.
And the benefits are just huge, aren't they? Good for your heart, boosts your mood, those endorphins.
Yep. Helps with weight management, stronger bones, lowers the risk of so many chronic diseases down the line. It's powerful stuff.
It's about finding those little pockets of opportunity to move, right?
Yeah.
Not seeing it as this separate big task.
Spot on. Making it part of the rhythm of your day.
And tied into getting moving, often outdoors, is the next one. Get some sunshine.
Vitamin D. Yes. Very important.
How does that work again?
Simple terms. Sunlight on your skin triggers your body to make vitamin D, and it's crucial not just for bones, but for your immune system, even your mood. It acts almost like a hormone.
But the key thing mentioned was not too much sun. Right?
Absolutely critical distinction. It's about balance.
Yeah.
The suggestion is maybe just 15-20 minutes of direct sun, maybe morning or late afternoon when it's less intense.
And being smart about it.
Definitely. Sunscreen, hat, avoiding that peak midday sun. You have to protect your skin.
So get the benefit without the risk. And beyond the vitamin D, just being outside, it feels good, doesn't it?
It really does. Fresh air, maybe some nature. It's naturally calming, helps reduce stress. Just stepping outside can be a nice little mental reset.
Okay, moving inside now, maybe.
Let's talk about rest-mind connection, areas that can feel really tricky in our busy lives.
Starting with one that hits close to home for many, I bet. Limit screen time. Habit 6.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one, the constant screens. The material points out some real downsides, eye strain, for starters.
And posture. Hunching over phones.
Definitely posture, but also, crucially, how it messes with sleep. That blue light suppresses melatonin, the sleep hormone.
Makes it harder to wind down.
Exactly. And it can feed into mental fatigue, anxiety, that feeling of always being on.
It's that constant pull, isn't it? Notifications pinging. The tips were practical, though, like taking actual breaks away from the screen.
Yes, and setting up screen-free zones or times, especially in the evening before bed.
That seems key for sleep.
It really is. The research strongly links that evening screen time to trouble falling asleep and just poor quality sleep overall. Setting those boundaries, it really pays off for well-being.
And that leads perfectly into the next habit, maybe the most foundational of all, getting enough sleep.
Couldn't agree more. The material is crystal clear. Sleep is not optional. It's essential.
Why so vital? What's happening when we sleep?
It's when your body does major repair work. Your brain sorts through the day, consolidates memories, your immune system recharges. If you skimp on sleep, you compromise literally everything else.
And there's a target number, right?
Yeah, the consensus seems to be aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep for most adults consistently.
Quality being the key word there.
Absolutely. Quantity isn't enough if the sleep is fragmented. So things like having a regular bedtime and wake-up time.
Even on weekends.
Ideally, yes. Helps regulate your internal clock. Also, making sure your bedroom is cool, dark, quiet, and watching the caffeine or alcohol late in the day.
Because those disrupt sleep cycles.
They really do. And when you think about what poor sleep is linked to, weight gain, heart issues, poor focus, weaker immune system, it just hammers home why it's non-negotiable. It's basic energy management.
Okay, so physical rest is covered. What about mental and emotional strain? Managing stress comes next.
Yes, because chronic stress is just corrosive. It undermines your health silently but powerfully.
How does it impact us physically?
It can weaken the immune system, mess with digestion, cloud your thinking. It contributes to so many problems. So finding ways to actively manage stress is vital.
And the material suggested simple things, right? Not necessarily eliminating the stressor, but coping better.
Exactly. Building resilience. Things like simple deep breathing exercises. Just taking a few minutes.
Or journaling?
Yeah.
Getting thoughts out?
Journaling. Practicing gratitude, consciously thinking about things you're thankful for. Short walks, especially in nature. Mindfulness or meditation practices.
It's about finding what works for you personally.
Yes. And making time for it, like you would for exercise or eating. Prioritizing that mental well-being is just as important as the physical stuff.
And linked to that well-being. Something maybe we don't always think of as a health habit. Connection.
Staying connected with other people. This one is really powerful, actually.
How so?
The research consistently shows that strong social ties aren't just nice to have, they genuinely impact physical health, linked to longer life, lower rates of depression and anxiety.
Better resilience when things get tough.
Exactly. Good relationships buffer stress. They actively support your emotional and physical wellness.
So making connection a habit is important.
Yes, being intentional about it, especially today when it's easy to feel isolated. Even just a quick 5-minute call to a friend can make a difference. Chatting with family, joining a group, making time for people.
Building that human support network.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, almost there. The last habit, number 10, it feels almost too basic.
Maintaining good hygiene.
Yeah. Washing hands, brushing teeth.
It might seem obvious, but the material reinforces just how crucial these simple things are. They are your first line of defense against getting sick. Regular hand washing is incredibly effective. Proper dental care, keeping your space reasonably clean.
It's foundational self-care again.
It really is. And beyond just preventing infections, feeling clean and presentable, that actually boosts confidence, contributes positively to your mental state too. It's the bedrock.
So looking back at all 10, what's striking is how they're all connected, right?
Totally interconnected. They aren't separate boxes to tick. Better sleep helps manage stress. Moving helps sleep and mood. Mindful eating helps digestion and your relationship with food.
It all weaves together.
Exactly. And the big message, the real takeaway from all this, isn't about achieving perfection overnight.
No drastic overhaul needed.
Right. It's that real, lasting health comes from the steady, cumulative effect of these small daily actions. Consistency is the key.
And the advice was clear. Don't try to do everything at once.
Please don't. That's a recipe for feeling overwhelmed and giving up. The recommendation is to start small.
Pick one thing.
Just one. Whichever one feels easiest, or maybe the one you need most right now. Focus on just that one thing for a week or two. Let it become more automatic.
Until it's just part of your routine.
Exactly. Then maybe add another one. Over time, they stop feeling like chores and just become how you live.
And that steady consistency, day after day, adding up, that's where the real magic happens for long-term health.
Those small steps build into something really significant over time. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So maybe the question for you listening is, which one small habit, if you started it today, consistently, could create the biggest positive ripple, not just physically, but for your energy, your mood, your overall life?
Yeah, thinking about how these simple choices today are really building the foundation for your future well-being.
Do not forget to subscribe and visit clinicalpin.com.